Hi everyone, Tiffany here, and welcome to my life. So if you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button right down there, and next to it will be a bell that'll pop up, and click on get notifications every time I come on live, because technically that's all I do right now. And also, don't forget to like my videos, share my videos, have fun, enjoy my videos, and yeah, share with your friends who are quilters or who want to quilt. I'll plug this guy in. So tonight is just me hanging out. I am tackling it on a Tuesday. That's what it says on the thing, you know, my description down below. I am tackling a project on a Tuesday, and it's not the project I was working on Sunday. That one is just put aside because I actually have a customer quilt, a Paw Patrol customer quilt, which it says also in the description, that I have to get done. Like, I really have to get it done. So I drew up a quick, easy, not easy, there's a little bit of complication to it, but it's pretty self-explanatory. I drew up a block, and I'm making the block 20 times, so I could go 4 across by 5 down. The blocks are finishing at 14.5 inches, and then they'll obviously finish at 14 minus all the seams, but I am putting it together. So anyways, that's just what we're here, hanging out, talking, chilling while you guys watch me put something together. Yay! So, hi Diane. Yeah, I'm just putting this together, and right now I'm at the part. Okay, so I gotta explain this, and I'll tell you guys right now. I was making a video on my tablet because I emptied a lot of pictures and just stuff off my tablet so I can have some room. So I'm recording. I was sewing for like an hour. You know, cutting and sewing for an hour so that I can at least attempt to make another video. And I'm making this video, and I go over to look at the screen to pause it to go to the next section, and it said, okay, my thing's full, so it stopped. So obviously, okay, I went over to the video, I went to see what happened, and some of it plays and the rest of it got corrupted. Yeah. So I'm a little frustrated with that, so I figured, you know what, before I get any further than what I have gotten so far, I'm just going to document everything by doing a live and chit-chat all at the same time, because you guys know me, I like to chit-chat. So I know it's late and a lot of people aren't on, but you know what, I'm an insomniac, and so are all of you. I know you are, so that's why we're up late. So hello, Billy. So I am just going to get to where I was before I turned this on. And I'll show you guys my shitty drawing. And, you know, I did say that word out loud. My little drawing with my color orders. Obviously, you're not going to tell what I'm making from this, but I will show you the blocks I started and how far I've gotten. And then you guys can just watch me work on the rest. So let's see how fast. 11:32 there. Well, it's 10:32 here, so not that bad. 1 hour difference. It's Tuesday. I mean, if you think about it, a lot of us are either disabled homemakers and are retired, or we all have insomnia. A lot of us are in pain all the time, so we have issues. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of things that a lot of you guys 100% have the same things that I have going on. You guys have them too out there, and it kind of helps because I can just come on whenever I feel like it, and I know someone's going to be there. So, and then later when you guys, anyone else who comes on and watches my videos, I know that you're probably watching them while you're up late. So, and then those of you who work and stuff, that's what the videos are here for later. It makes that a lot easier. So, all right, I'm going to show you my horrible, let's see if you can even see this. This is what I'm doing. And you're like, what the heck is that? Hello, Pamela. Yeah, this is just, you know, this is how I sketch things together in a quick manner. So, in reality, this is going to turn into something else, which will be built on, like I said, it's Paw Patrol. So here's the blocks. I fussy cut. Let me tell you, I have never wasted so much fabric to fussy cut these. But it was a directional fabric, and what I wanted to make with it, I couldn't make something else, and it can't go in a border, so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to fussy cut. So there's 2 of these guys, and there's 2 of these guys, Obviously 2 of those. And you can see I went around them already. They are 8.5-inch blocks that I went around with white so far. There's 2 of these guys. There's 2 of these little fellers. And I think this is kind of like the most accurate I've ever done anything. I mean, my last one was accurate, but this is definitely 100% accurate. And then there are 2 of these guys. As you can tell, I fussy cut big, huge block. And you could tell the fabric was big print and it was separated pretty darn far. So it was really hard. All the stuff that was around all this, it got wasted. So, I mean, it's not wasted. I'll throw it into something scrappy, but... And then I made these. So this was a closer print, so it was able to get a little bit of every character. And they're all situated differently. So there's like this one. Let's see, is this one any different? This guy's here instead. I kind of tried my best to get them all somewhat directional. Like this one could probably go this way and look just as good anyway, you know. But again, there's 10 of each. So there's 10 of the ones with the red print and 10 of the other ones, giving me 2 of each of those. And now for the next part, which I'm on now, is cutting the pieces to go around. And I can't see you guys' is covering it right now, but let's get to it. I made sure I have my little list because it's telling me what I need to cut. So, well, I'm glad you popped in to say hello, Pamela. I didn't read that from the other screen. So, whatever angle I'm in, I'm going to be cutting right here in front. So, you won't see that. You'll just see me cutting. But I'm cutting 2.5-inch strips from solid fabrics right now to make and create my design. And you guys will get to see it because I'll put, actually I could just show you what a block looks like. This is me putting, this was fabricating it to make sure it looks okay. So this is my pre mock-up block. And then, yeah, it's going to be like there's roads. Obviously this was just scraps, but it'll be like there's roads going through. And I was going to do black, but Michelle talked me into doing white. So, and everybody knows Michelle, so she's not here yet. This is pretty much what I'm designing. It's for a little boy, a very little boy, so. All right, off to my cutting. So we want 2.5-inch strips. I'm on the red. I'm doing red, orange, yellow, green, and blue. And I have my fabric folded in half, so I'm cutting 4 layers, so I'm getting 2 strips at a time. So I'm cutting 5 strips. Actually, I think I'm going to do 6 just to be on the safe side, because any scraps I save and do other things with, and you guys know that. And it's so much better cutting through this much yardage with this Olfa. Let me tell you guys, thanks to Teresa giving me that, I definitely have a lot easier time now cutting through yardage. And then I swap out to a different cutter when I'm just cutting small stuff. That way I'm not using up this blade, because I still haven't found a place to buy the 60mm blades in bulk. Alright, so I cut 6 strips off of my red, and I'm going to move it out of the way and go grab my orange. So I'm kind of behind the camera right now, guys, but only because I'm got this big, huge fabric stack going over here. Alright, so let's move these guys out of the way, because now I have 6 2.5-inch strips of red. Let's see what you're saying. I gotta turn the screen so I can see. Hi, Sandy. Alright, so now I'm going to cut some orange. And again, I'm just going to cut 2.5-inch strips off of this. I'm going to try to line this up as best as possible. I'm really cutting a lot off, but I want to make sure I get it all. Put it on a line. I like to put it on a line on my mat so that I make sure that I'm getting a nice, good, even cut. And then I use my weight for yardage, mainly for long cuts. I'll just cut 6 of these strips. I'm going to cut 6 of every color. Alright, 2.5-inch strips coming up. I shouldn't run out of fabric though. I bought quite a bit of every color. That way I knew I was going to be accurate. I should have bought more of the Paw Patrol one, let me tell you, because that stuff, having to fussy cut all those out of that blue one, that fabric went quick. 2 yards of it gone, just like that. It was fast, very, very fast. Oops, got a little boo-boo going on right here. That out, and one more cut off of my orange. I'll show you guys what I'm doing as I'm doing it. You guys don't really have to see this part because I'm actually not teaching this. I'm just giving you general ideas of what you can build. I actually am teaching it because I designed it myself, but I'm pretty sure it's been done before because it's quite simple. So there's 6 of those. Those out of the way. And grab another color. Now we're on yellow. I think I'm going to make little pillowcases to go with it, but these are some really, really bright colors. Very bright colors. What is Paw? It's a customer quilt for, it's a Paw Patrol customer quilt for a little kid who's probably like, I don't remember how old he's, either 3 or 4, I think. And he's obsessed with Paw Patrol. So, and if you don't know, it's a Nickelodeon show. I didn't know nothing about it either, and I have daycare. So here's some of what's left over. I'm probably going to make a pillowcase out of. But it's Paw Patrol. I don't know any of their names or anything because we don't watch Paw Patrol. I think it's more focused on boys, I guess. But there is girl prints. There is girl characters, but this is for a boy, so it's boy prints. I did have girl prints, but he wants boy stuff, so I'm making boy quilt. Oh. And I have been doing this. I was working on one thing earlier today, and the rest of today I've been doing this. Well, planning it. Didn't take me very long to sew up those blocks so far. This part might take a little longer. But I know what I need, so I made sure I wrote everything down. It's less complicated than my other one. Yeah, police dog things. I don't know what they do on Paw Patrol because I've actually not watched the show. But I know it's cute for little kids. Like I said, I have a girl print too, but this is for a boy, so I need a boy print. And I'm using all these bright colors because that's what's in the little Paw Patrol fabric, are these colors. The little characters are these colors. So I'm just cutting 6 strips from each color. I don't know if you guys can even see, but I put the camera on so it could face me because after I get these cuts done I can move it, I guess, to see my sub-cutting. I can't go any further back though with the camera, unfortunately. Alright, so there's 6. Now let's go to green. It's very rainbow-like, but it's very bright for young kids. Alright, now for the green. This is some very thick cotton too. Very, very thick cotton. Pressed everything. I did not starch though. Usually I do, but I didn't this time. It's all just nice and pressed. folded up so that I was able to cut better. Normally I would have starched, but it's weird in the house starching than it was when I was out in the garage. Because in the garage the starch smell kind of spread around and dissipated. In here it's stuck in a very close quarter room and it'll just make me sneeze and stuff a lot. And yes, I'm cutting left and right-handed. Mostly right-handed though. Let's see. Anybody say anything? Hi, Michelle. Didn't even see you were there, so I'm pretty sure you got my message then. Alright. And Michelle, I did go with the white like you said. Which looks cute. I'll show the blocks again in just a second. But I gotta tackle this, and it's Tuesday. That's what Tuesdays is gonna be. Tackle It Tuesday. Sounds awesome. It's so easy to cut now. I'm so happy. I like when I'm happy and having an easy time. Alright, now for blue. So what's everyone up to tonight? Anybody watching movies, hanging out, having some popcorn, doing something? I also make sure I look down to make sure I'm getting every end piece. Oh man, this blue has a line through it. Huh. That's weird. Let's see if you guys can see this. Sometimes this happens with fabric and I don't ever get a chance to really look. See that line? It's running through the yardage. Goes all the way too. Well, let's hope my cuts don't have that in it. It's not on the back side, it's only on the top of it. It's weird. I'll just leave it down so you can see. Bed with Opal, who is snoring. That's a pet transformer fabric for your grandson, and there was a lot. Yeah, this has a lot of waste. Like, here's my. This is what's left over from 2 yards. Stupid cuts that are like this big. And like I can't really get much, but maybe some of their faces or something on something else. Cuts that are like this big. Some cuts that are this big, but see where I couldn't center any of these guys from the leftover pieces. I was so upset. Then there's even all the outer skirt pieces that are even smaller. And then even smaller. So what I'll use all this for is for some strip piecing, and you'll never even know the difference for something else. They can just go in with anything, probably. But out of 2 yards of fabric, that's all I had left. Couldn't believe it. I'm hoping this piece doesn't end up in my cuts. My sub-cutting, I should say. We'll see. It's not coming off with my saliva, so it's probably embedded into the fabric, which kind of sucks. And that goes all the way to the end where I want it. I'm just going to use it anyway, though. It's only on this side. Alright, 2.5 inch strips. Let's put this up there. I kind of like lay it down, then line it up, and then lay it down again. because it kind of gets heavy for me, and since I did my shot tonight with shot night, my arm is sore, my left arm. So I'm not 100% with my left arm, but I'm going to make things work. Because that's what I do. If you hear moaning or groaning in the background, I'm watching Snow White. That's a horror tale, the horror version of Snow White. I'm not really watching it though. I kind of just like it on in the background in case I look over at the TV. Plus it drowns out my talking for the other rooms that are trying to sleep. Alright, I hope that doesn't end up in the cuts, but I will watch that in my sub-cutting. Alright, blue is done. Yeah, that line just randomly stops right there. That's so weird. I didn't notice it when I purchased the fabric either. Alright, now for sub-cutting. My paper went somewhere. Alright, let's change the camera up just a little so you can see me. Alright, so I need to cut 5-inch and 7-inch increments. So I need my 8.5-inch ruler. So I'm going to do it this way. I'm just going to line them up all next to each other so I can try to make sure I go around this mark. Some real screaming going on in this movie. Alright. Trying to line it up to where I can cut my selvage off too, if you can't see what I'm doing here. But you'll get what I'm doing in a second, because I'll show you after I make some cuts. Still buffering, I'm going to refresh. It's not me, my screen looks like it's going from my other screen, obviously. So, start with this. I'm going to chop all these selvages off all at once, because that's just how I roll. Put them in my waist. Alright, so I need to go over 5 inches and then 7 inches. So, oi, oi, oi. Line this up. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just do it with the long one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not used to these big lines. Should use my pink ruler. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So all of the rest of those. No, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay. 14, 15, 16. Alright, so I need 16 5-inch pieces. I'm totally like making sure I cut exact. So if I need 16, I'm cutting 16. here's my 16 5-inch pieces. Now I need 7-inch. No, it's not 7 inches, so let's move that out of the way. I'll grab this. And that's going to end up in the 7 inches, so let's pull that out of the way for now. This one here. I'm going to line them all up on the line. And I can get that one at least. And one out of that one at 7 inches. Hold on, and I'll look at comments in a second. And I can get some out of this one. Okay. So now I'm going to come over 7 inches. And I'm going to lay this down, and I'm going to take my big ruler. I'll lay it across on the opposite side, making a straight line. Move that ruler out of the way. And cut. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm not going to get nothing from that. Alright, so now I'm trying to get around all these. 12, 13, 14. Let's line this up on the line. Look at that, it's going to work out perfectly. 14. We'll open this up. Cut from this side. Making 15. Open this up, cut from this side, and making 16. Look at that. Yay. So I'll have a little bit left over, but that's okay because I always manage to make some extras. He sent me this marshmallow pumpkin latte, but Rick melted, and he asked me, are you making dessert? LOL. Alright, hold on. Let's see it. Where are we? Where are we? Still buffering. I'm back. Everything's fine. I see another quilt out of that. Yeah, there'll be probably something with lots of colors and small because there'll be a little bit left and it'll probably just be all super colorful. Alright, 7 inches is right here. There. Pull that out of the way. Okay. So here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 7-inch pieces. Now I just need to do the rest with all the other colors. This one I had to chop up more than I wanted to, but that's only because of those funky lines in the fabric. Alright. Stack it all up nicely and move it out of my way. Okay. Now do the rest. I shouldn't have to do that again. Oh, need this more. Goes up out of my way, all the way. Okay. Since when did it take all your energy just to take a shower? Yeah, that's me every day also. I hate getting all the together. So thank you, Sandy. I hate getting up too. It takes a shower. I can't tell you, it's not a very fun body. I'm not even old in it. It's horrible for me to take a shower. Every bone aches when it gets cold. Yes, definitely. I don't mind getting on. Yes, Michelle, if you're talking about getting weight, it seriously helps with the cutting. I'd give you one because I have another one, but that one I also use in the garage for trimming quilts because I left my other table out there at the end of the long arm frame to trim quilts. But yeah, the weight 100% is a big difference. Hi Teresa, you're up late. Actually, 2 of you are up late that I know of for being far away. I have like this big huge lump right here. It doesn't swell or anything, but it's just a big lump where the medication went into my arm. Oh, it's sore, but it's not that bad. I actually decided tonight to take a pain reliever before injection, which I did the other night when I did my my butt cheek, and the time before that with my belly, and it actually helps a little bit. So for anybody that's just joining, I'm making a Paw Patrol quilt for a customer. Alright, I'll take the first blocks. I was recording video footage, and then my tablet, I went to pause it and it said not enough space. So I went to play the video that I paused, and some of it plays and the rest of it was corrupted. So here are the fussy cut Paw Patrol pieces, and here are the, I'll just place them like right here so you can see, and the not fussy cut. That's where I'm at so far. Now I just got to build around them all, because my mock-up block is right here. And I'm trying to get this done like quick and fast and in a hurry. Because I want to get back to my other projects. I have other projects. Alright, so this one, gotta cut the selvage off first. What was I thinking? You guys can talk amongst yourselves while I get these cuts done. Alright, so 5 inches. 5 inches. Just a little. I'm cutting 16 of 2 sizes of each color. So there's 16 of those. Now to do 7-inch. And another 7-inch, and I'll be done with the green. Yay! Once you start, it doesn't actually take that long when you start building something. It's like everything else goes so quick. Alright, green is now done. And all these little leftover pieces go to strips. I probably could have just cut 5 strips and I would have had enough actually, but I always cut extra just in case. Stay out of my way. Oh, and I also made myself, I'm in the way of the camera, sorry. I want to show you guys this. I made myself a cool little hanging area. So, obviously it's missing that, and I hung all my rulers. Oh, that's the stand my husband built for me, by the way. So, I hung most of the rulers that I use frequently, and then my rotary cutters, so that it's all right there next to me. Hello, Vicky. Still working on those red quilts I saw you said, Teresa. Oops. That's cool. They're beautiful. Alright. Having fun. Have you guys seen? I'm home from Michigan for Christmas to see my green. Alright, I'm going to keep cutting just going to keep lining these up in stacks of 2. That way I don't have to cut too many layers at once. And yes, I keep my blade open, but I keep it away from me, just so everybody knows, anybody that's new and worries about that. I don't know, I find it a hassle to close it every single time. That's personal to me, my personal preference, I guess. Alright, let's trim all this off. Alright. 5-inch. What I don't like about these rulers is you can't see that line very well. It sucks. Because the white is on it. And then I slide these up sort of out of the way. Got another 5. That gives me 16 of these. And reline it back up. Right here to cut 7-inch pieces. Look at that. The more you do it, the more easier it becomes. For all of those who are new to quilting, everything on the cutting part. Alright, slide one down and get my 7-inch right here. 16. And 2 more colors to go. $29.50. Holy moly, that's cold. Alright, it was nice having you watch, Billy. We'll see you next time. Get some sleep. Like I said, it's late, but you guys don't have to watch. You can go to sleep if you're going to bed. I'm just on to tackle this quilt, get it done. I just want to get things done. I want it out of my way, out of my mind. Get rid of the selvage real quick. Come over 5. Come over 7. Cut a 5 and cut a 7. I should have just been doing this the whole time. I'm changing my cutting as I go. One more. Then I can start sewing them together. But I still have to cut some more white strips because I was in the middle of that. That's when I went to pause the video and I lost my video footage. I'm so upset about that. Oh well. It happens. I wish I'd have just been able to edit a couple videos together and be done, but no. Oh well. Alright, let's cut me a straight line. Alright. And 7. Alright, all my colors are now cut. So this is how this is going to work. Let me make a block so I can show you all. Alright, so what I did to create my wonderful crazy drawing here is I'm going to take this block. I'm going to start with this one, I guess, right in front of me. And I have myself some little, I needed 1.5 inch strips, which is what's around here, is 1.5 inch strips. So you guys can see this. So this is an 8.5 inch block with 1.5 inch strips all the way around. So I did the top, bottom, and then I connected sides. So what it created was now a 10.5 inch block that I'm going to build around. One of these will go here, one of these will go here, one of these will go here, and you're like, well, how does that get centered? Well, that's where the colored cuts actually come in. So I'm starting with red. So this is red, and its corresponding color will be red here, and now orange. Orange will be on this side, and its corresponding orange will be there. And let's see, hold on, so I have red, orange, and this one has a green and a blue in it. So it has green on the short side, and green for the long one, and then it has a short blue. These are 5 inch and 7 inch pieces, and a long blue. So I don't know if you can tell, but this is what it's going to create. So let's move this out of the way, close the cutter, and I'm going to remember my spot. So I'm going to first start by connecting these two together. So I'm going to connect my pieces real quick. With a 1/4 inch seam, I'm just going to open it, grab the other one, throw it on. There's no right or wrong side with all these solids, but if you're using whatever, making this, obviously you would want it right sides together. Now line it up. And I do not have my iron on, so I'm just going to finger press them to the dark for now. And then I'm going to lay it back where it's supposed to go. I'm going to hook these 3 together. So I'll start with putting the green with the white first. They're 1.5 by 2.5 inch little strips that are separating it. And yes, I actually did all the math again. All by my little lonesome. Oops, I think I'm doing something wrong here. 2 longs and a short. No wonder it was looking funny. So this needs to be a long. I knew I was doing something wrong here. Those are 2 shorts. Alright, I screwed up. But that's okay. Put the short on that side. Long down here. Short, short. Already connected the long, so we're going to leave this one right here for now. Grabbing that red here and the short green there. Okay. I knew I was doing something wrong. See, that's why it's good to pay attention. Alright, so I'm going to leave those long. So now I'm going to hook these. I'm glad I didn't get any more sewing done. See, everybody messes up. I definitely, with the way I'm orientating this block, definitely need to pay attention. Sorry I'm not as talkative. I don't want to get too lost, you know? Alright, so that goes there. Then we'll hook these together. Put this one on here first. pressing everything to the dark. Yeah, I'm glad I caught it. Good night, Diane. Alright, now put the orange on here. Yeah, I made sure that my colors are gonna, no same two colors are gonna match through this whole entire thing. They should all be opposing. So now I just need to hook this one on here. Because I had already hooked that green before I realized I was going the wrong way. Now I just gotta remember my longs are on the top and bottom instead of the side. Which I don't think is gonna matter in the end. As long as I seal my seams, that's how I usually do it. So, I'm going to attach this one and this one first. The sides, so I'm going to make sure short's on all sides. And they should come out exactly even. This is what helps this block work out. I'm at 5 inches and the other one's at 7. So as soon as I add these to my now, what was a 10-inch block, I should be able to connect the next two with my white always coming to the center. And obviously for now I'm just finger pressing, so I want the orange. This is how we always forget if we don't do this. So I want my orange to stay at the top. So that's why I always lay it back where it's supposed to go. Align them up. Obviously they're equal. They should be exact. That way the white ends up in the center every time. So I'm going to bring it over here and fold it open, finger pressing it out to those dark colors. It wants to lay the other way towards the white because there's less bulk there, but unfortunately with white I prefer everything to go away from the white. So I'm going to finger press this back on this side. It's going to be such an adorable little quilt, that's for sure. Alright, so now when I put this on here and this on here, they should be 100% exact. So I'm going to put this one on this side. And I always got to pay attention that my corresponding colors are always coming to the side that they are corresponding to. So if red is somewhere, that red needs to touch its same red. And then again, it just comes right to the end right here. Just hold them together. You can pin if you want when you make stuff like this. And just holding it nice. And turn it around after I grab this, and that's where it goes. Flop it the other way. And they should line right up. And before I sew this, I'm going to go plug that iron in so that I can press it and you guys can see how it turns out. I want that iron nice and hot. Mr. McSteamy needs some time to play. Hold those two together. Since I did press the dark, I'm just making sure my first seam right here doesn't fold back, or flip back, I should say. I don't want it to flip. Alright. Finger press this out of the way. As soon as that iron is hot enough, I'll press it and then I'll lift it up and show you guys. Let me just adjust this one more time, that way it's just a little bit higher because of my face. I like you guys seeing my face. Turn it around. Finger press it. Alright. Give it a good press. Since I finger pressed, it should press really nice and flat. The block is just a little bit bigger. than my ironing board. Not by much, but by a little bit. And here it is. Isn't that freaking awesome? I'm going to push this one seam is wanting to fold a different way back there. So this is it. Block one down. So now my next one is going to be from the blue stack. Let me just erase this because I started with red and I should have started with blue, but I was but wasn't paying attention. And I don't have a big eraser anywhere right here. I don't happen to my eraser. I had it, but it's not here. Oh, I'll leave this here for you guys to see while I erase my little letters. I put R for red and B for blue on all my little template drawing thingy here, so I know what color goes where, so I can pay attention. At least I caught that first almost boo-boo. Alright, so it goes red, blue, red, blue, blue, red, blue, red, red, blue, 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 red, blue, red, red, blue. Okay. So, my wonderful drawing is now coming to life. So let's make another one. And I'll explain this again, because I'm right here and I can. Okay. So according to my little thingy-mabobber here, I'm going to leave that one right there so that I can make sure my next block is going to be from the blue pile. When I say blue pile, I mean my second pile of Paw Patrol characters, which I'm going to now split into two piles because there's two of each. And I want to make sure that I equally spread these guys throughout the quilt. Making two piles so that I know that they're equally spread out. And these guys are directional. So I'm going to make sure that's the pile I grab them from. That's the other pile to grab from. So I'm going to start with this blue. Now, see how I have this red, orange? The next color is going to be yellow up here. So I'm going to take a yellow 5-inch, put it right there, and a yellow 7-inch, and stick it right here. Let's point this down so you guys can see. Obviously I need my 4 little 1.5 by 2.5 inch pieces. I'm just going to lay them here. I cut 40 of them so far. I need to have 80 of them, but for now, that's why I was gonna when I was trying to record, it didn't come out right. So my diagram says yellow. Now I need green. So the long one will be up here. The short one will be right here. So 7-inch, 5-inch. And then my next color down here is going to be red again. So my short one, and then my 7-incher. Over, and then down here, because I'm on cross out block number 1. Block number 1's done. Now I need orange. Orange short, 5-inch, and orange long, 7-inch. See what's happening here? So let's move this character out of the way because he's block number 1. And I'm going to try to keep these in order somewhere. There we go, I'll just set it over there. And let's sew it. So I'm going to sew these 3 together first. it to the dark. And I could take it to the iron at this point, but it's probably best if you just have an ironing board next to you when you make stuff like this. I'll just give it a little bit of warmth. So heat goes back right there. Let's put this one together. See what everyone's saying. White fabric is 1.5. Yes, it's 1.5 inch strips, and these little pieces are 1.5 by 2.5. And then the white strips that go around the block, so around it, it's 8.5 inches. So there's two 8.5 inch and two 10.5 inch from the 1.5 inch strips. 10.5 and 8.5. So attach two 8.5s first, and then attach two 10.5s. I guess it is a tutorial now. I hope you guys were able to see that. So 8.5 inch center block, 8.5 inch top and bottom by 1.5 inch, and then the sides are 10.5 inches, one on each side from the 1.5 inch strips. And then these ones are 7 inches, these ones are 5 inches, connected with 1.5 by 2.5 inch strips. Hope that is like understandable. And I'm alternating my colors, but if you make something like this, you sure as heck can do whatever you want with your colors. You guys will see this quilt in full. It's getting a flannel, or no, fleece. This one will have a fleece backing, which is going to be a little bit more tougher to quilt, but that's okay. It's what the customer wants, so what the customer wants, the customer gets. And I still have to quilt my other customer quilt, but, and I have another one to get prepped and draw a pattern up for, and so I just have so many projects going on. Plus my own that I'm working on with you guys. Okay, so I'm going to give this just a little bit of heat. Lay it down right here. Obviously they don't fit yet because they are not sewn together yet. Sleep, ladies. Good night. I should say good morning. All right, good night, Pamela. It's 11:27 here. Alright, so now I'm going to attach this side first. Again, they should line right up perfectly. And I just pulled that one seam that I pressed to the dark back out of the way. And then I'm pressing them to the dark with my fingers real quick. I guess I'll just press in between every step, every deal. Lay it back down, make sure that's where it's supposed to be, grab the next one. This is what I'll be doing for the next few hours until I'm almost ready to be done. This needs to be done quick. Sometimes I get time constrictive or time sensitive projects. This one is definitely a time sensitive project. Make sure that it's the colors that need to be on it. I'll start with the top. Right sides together. Again, it should line right up each side. The only seam I'm making sure that stays down is my white. The rest on the way down should just be perfectly fine, honestly. And I don't have to do much but add this one on here, because as long as I can see that my orange is touching my orange, I shouldn't have any mess ups. Press it back. And then I'm just going to give this whole entire block a quick press. And there's another one. Alright, let's see what you guys are saying. Holy moly, that's a lot. Okay. Beginning, I think she told us. Okay, what did I say in the beginning? Alright, so I'm going to go through this. 8.5 inch block in the center. This is like the most, I would say simplistic but complicated paying attention for me, because you got to pay attention to my color variations. But when you're trying to do something quick, I sewed just all these pieces together, 20 of them. I did the sides and then the top and bottom. I did all that section in 1 hour. And now I'm on this section. Obviously it would have been a lot faster if I wouldn't have had my video feed problem and so on and so forth. So 8.5 inch center, 8.5, 8.5 by 1.5, add it to the top and bottom, then add the two sides are 1.5 by 10.5. I'll just add the measurements obviously afterwards, like always. These white are 1.5 inch strips. They are 1.5 by 2.5. That's what creates that center part. And then 5 inch, and I'm making 20 blocks, so I needed 16 of each color, you know what I mean? Because I counted out how many colors are going around my thing. But these are 5 inch and these are 7 inch. If you wanted to do something the same color, you can as well. They just know that 2 5 inches plus the 1.5 by 2.5 inch, those three combined create a 10.5 inch strip. This creates, I think this is 14.5 inch total. Let me grab my ruler down to 100% sure about that. Yep, 14.5. They make 14.5 inch blocks. So, and then when you connect them together, this is what happens. You see that? This is what I love about designing my own stuff. Super colorful, super fun. It's like street crossroads that go in between everything. I'm going 4 across by 5 down. Sorry, it just popped up. I can barely see sometimes. So I'm doing 4 across by 5 down. Let's stay right there. All right. So here's piece number 1, piece number 2. So I'm alternating also from red to blue. The next one is going to be red, the next one blue. And then the next row down will be blue, red, which actually works out perfect because I made 20. This quilt is going to turn out with its 2.5 inch border. After these are put together, a 2.5 inch border is going all around, and the quilt will be 60 exact by 74. I made sure I did the math on this because I only have a specific amount of fabric to work with. So, so here's number 1, here's number 2. Let's do another one. All right, so I guess I'm just going to start laying them down on the floor over here. And I'm glad I stepped where I stepped because there was a pin on the floor. And 1, 2. And I could have put sashing in between them instead of doing the outer border. I could sash them if I wanted, but I'm not going to. So now I'm on red again. So I'm just going to grab another red, and I'm going to make sure my straight line, you know, so here's a piece and here's a piece. I started by messing up. I should have been the short pieces here, but that's okay. We're doing short pieces on this. So now I did number 2, and I'm going to number 3 is blue. And red. And yellow. And green. And leave your colors next to whatever you choose. Grab 4 more of these. And you need 4 of these 1.5 by 2.5 inch pieces per block. 4 5-inch squares per, or 5 inch by 2.5 inch per block, and 4 7 by 2.5 inch by 7. So 5 inch, 4 of them, and 4 7-inch for each block. So let me look again. So this is B, this is R, this is yellow, Y, and G for green. Yeah, I did it in letters, so I can try to make sure that I get it all right. So let's do one more. And if you pay attention, then you can probably do exactly what I'm doing with these colors. I'm doing red, orange, yellow, green, and blue. Although the blue kind of, I mean, from some angles looks like violet. Not violet, but like a dark midnight purple, but it's actually blue, surprisingly. It just reads like almost a purple, but next to the blue it's purple. I mean, it's next to the blue it's blue. Next to any part that's blue. Oops, I pressed that seam the wrong way. And you can just as well press your seams in, open, if you're an open seam presser, but no seams match up, so that's a good thing, except when you put the blocks together, then there'll be seams matching up, and if you want to sash it, you can, which is probably what it looks like I'm going to end up doing. Honestly, I can just remove the outer border and actually sash in between every block, creating more white roadways is what I'm calling them. Alright, now we'll tuck these together. Now look in just a second. This is what I do when I'm alone and I'm not recording anything. I actually just keep going and going and going. I don't stop. I don't read. I don't write. I don't nothing. I just do this. I don't take no breaks. I just get things done. That's why I can do my quilts so fast, because I just kind of keep going until my body says stop, and or I feel I need a break of some sort, like potty or smoking or something, or food. I do have to remind myself for having food breaks, and I just did something wrong again, didn't I? I just have it upside down. Alright, last one. Let's make sure blue, red, yellow, and green. Yep. See, you can lay them down wrong and you wouldn't even know it. I just did it. There's no name for this. I just kind of drew it up, something that I can make sure that I get all of this Paw Patrol material. It's like, I really want those blocks to show.
And I told Michelle the other night that I was going to do a square within a, and then surround it with something, and then surround it with something else. So this is pretty much what I came up with, what I told her I was going to do. She already knew that I was doing the colors. So, alright, here we go. So now they should be exact again. So I'm going to put these right sides together. They should match right up, corner to corner, perfectly. If your cuts are correct, they should always match up. I'm going to flip it around. Actually, I'm going to place it down here so I can make sure my yellow is there, because I'm prone to getting out of order. That's why I always tell you guys to keep your project in front of you, just in case. It helps to, especially when you're mixing colors up like I'm doing. But this is like super cute. Just pressing it back real quick. Pressing also, I mean, I finger press everything, but pressing fully just helps everything lay better. So again, this should fit right on. And if they don't, and it's just like a millimeter off, don't worry, don't fuss about it. Just trim it and keep going. Or you can be fussy about it and restitch. As long as your 1/4 inch seam is correct. Okay, so now I'm just going to lay this up here. Green matches green, yellow matches yellow, right sides together, and go. So you guys understand what I'm making here now by giving you the numbers? And I always use my seam guide. It helps me so much. Ooh, that's hot. Hot! Hot, hot, hot. Burning myself. This guy's definitely giving me some steam tonight. Ooh-wee. I just give the whole block a quick press. And here's another one. So I'm going to lay this down in my step. And we'll make one more blue real quick. So again, 4 of my 1.5 by 2.5. Yes, you're doing a great job. Yes, I think I am. Hi, Linda. Didn't see that you were there. Okay, so I cut, just so that you guys know, technically you only need to cut 5 2.5 inch strips from 5 different colors for at least this project. 5 2.5 inch strips from each color. I had a little bit extra because I cut 6, but I would have only needed 5. 5 would have done the job perfectly. So I cut them, subcut them into 7 inch and 5 inch subcuts. Around my 8.5 inch block is an 8.5 inch strip on the top and the bottom, then a 10.5 inch strip on the sides. These are 1.5 by 2.5. Altogether I cut, hold on, I gotta think about this one, 20, I cut 20 1.5 inch strips. And I got 40 pieces at 8.5 and 40 pieces at 10.5 of this project exactly. I made sure I wrote everything down as I was going. That's what I'm starting to do now, is just write it all down as I go. I'm doing 4 across by 5 down with a 2.5 inch finish. Yeah, and the blocks are 14.5 inches. Alright, so we are done with number 3. Let's go to number 4. We have orange. So on the top piece is my long one. On the side will be my short one. Oops. And then I have yellow. And then I have blue. And it's good to make a little chart of where your colors are going to be going. Blue and red. And I needed 16 of each size for the 20 blocks to move my colors around. Depending on what you do will depend on your color placement. So orange, yellow, blue, red. Let's hook these together now. I'll make this last one and then I'll let everyone get to bed. Alright. And I'm pressing everything to the dark. Like I said, no seam matches up on when you're putting the block itself together. There's no matching seams, which is a very good plus for beginners, not to have to match any seams. It's definitely a plus when you're starting and you don't know what you're doing, but you don't want to screw up. So put it right where it goes. Grab these 3 little pieces. I'm just finger pressing them for now. And solids, again, there's no right or wrong side. And I'm just giving them a quick press after my finger pressing. And make sure that my colors are in the right places. Grab these 3. Yeah, this whole entire thing, I'll lay each block down individually to lay it out and make sure that they're supposed to be what they're supposed to be. And see, you can mess it up by accidentally doing that. But you know, you could also just mess the colors up if you want purposely. I'm just doing mine a specific way, but feel free to do what you want. This is your quilt from my little quick idea that I put together today. Make sure it's the right way. Grab this first. Line it right up. And if you cut everything correctly, they should just lay right on top. Turn it around. Grabbing this one. Press these. I'm gonna lay it right where it was. Make sure I'm grabbing the correct ones. Orange to orange, yellow to yellow. Sorry for the lack of interaction. I said chat and look at me. This is my normal pace though now, you know? So what you're seeing from me right now is my normal pace of how I do things. I just keep going and going. Last press. And here's another one. So I'm going to lay it on the floor with the rest so that you guys can be taken down to see what a row looks like. Oh, don't fall, don't fall. Yellow, green, blue, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, red. Okay. There we go. So there's one strip. So the colors will keep alternating. Wrong way what? There we go. Don't know the names of these characters, but they are Paw Patrol. So obviously this can be made with a strip set as well, like a jelly roll and what is it, honey bun, and then 10-inch squares, you know, for the center, and you can just make the bigger you want. But if you're fussy cutting something, the general idea of it, you know what I mean? I prefer to cut from yardage. Jelly rolls are for a lot of my regular patterns, but when I make my own, it's always yardage, so. Good night, Teresa. Hello, Tiff. All right, let's see. Michelle, you haven't answered what's wrong way. What's the wrong way? I'm going to turn the iron off for a little bit. All right. And as you can tell, how to know a quilter is I'm covered in thread. You should have seen it earlier. I was way more covered in thread. All right, guys. So I appreciate you coming again. This is super simple. If you want, I just scribble because I am a horrible artist. I just scribble a bunch of squares, how many across and how many down I'm doing, and then I kind of just do the design that I'm doing, and I just made lines, you know, to mark things, and I just red, orange, yellow, blue, red, orange, yellow, and then I went to that next row, starting with the green, blue, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and then it started with red and it ends with blue. Like it was an equal, completely equal amount because there's 20 blocks, so they're 5-inch, 16 5-inch strips of each color of 5 colors, 16 7-inch strips of 5 colors, and they are 2.5-inch strips, by the way. 1.5-inch, I used 20 1.5-inch strips so far, which also got me these little 1.5 by 2.5-inch little pieces that create the road connectors, is what I'm calling it. And then I still need to cut 4 more strips to finish that off, but other than that, I need 80 altogether of those little pieces. And yeah, that's it. And I started with an 8.5-inch square. And fussy cut out the Paw Patrol stuff, which again, I'm not used to wasting that much fabric when it comes to fussy cutting, but it was a large print, so I needed to get what I could. And this kid is probably going to be over the head ecstatic with this, let me tell you. It's going to be 60 by 74. It's going to be its size. No, yeah, 60 by 74. Yep, that's it. Because I'm doing a 2.5-inch border all the way around the whole entire thing when it's done, and that's black, and it's a black material with white polka dots. That's going to go all the way around. I thought it would be super cute. I'm pretty sure I'm probably just going to connect them all together. I was thinking about putting white in between as sashing, but now that I look at it, it looks awesome. Color to color, color to color. It looks awesome. So I'm just going to leave them as is and then just do the outer border like I had planned. Yeah, and that's what I'm doing. So the actual measurements of hooking the blocks together are 56.5 across by 70.5 down without, that's minusing the 1/4-inch seams, and that's without a border. Those are the measurements. At least what we think it would be. So that's just my husband and me putting the math together of 14.5-inch blocks, minusing 3 seams, keeping the 2 outer 1/2-inch part, you know what I mean? We did it. So it's not that hard for borders. I don't have a problem with it. So it's quilting. Borders is always my thing with quilting. What do I quilt in a border? So this one is getting a I'll show you guys. Hobby Lobby was the only place that we can find, so it's quite expensive. The back is a fleece, and it's more Paw Patrol, and it's directional. So this means it has to be loaded onto the frame, because on fleece you should load your frame with the selvage along the top of the frame. This is 60 inches wide, so that's why I'm making this, like, this is literally coming to the edge of this. Like, seriously coming to the edge. Whatever gets cut off, I'm doing the binding the same color as the last border, so it'll be floating off the edge. So yeah, this is directional, and I want it to go this way, but the selvage is on this side, so it actually has to be connected to the frame this way. And they didn't have much, so I got what they had. There's 2.5 or 3 yards here. 3 yards. So, yep, that's what I got. So it's Paw Patrol on the back too. All right. Anybody have any questions about my random blob? Threw it out there at you. At first it was just watching me and hang out and chit chat while putting it together, but tonight it ended up tutorial. It just happens that way. So while I wait to know if you guys are, I don't know yet on the quilting part. I might take advantage of the areas and do ruler work probably. Once it's all together, usually I see the quilting when the whole thing is done. That's my thing. When I see the whole thing put together, you know, that's when I say, okay, this is what I'm going to do, and then I do it. So I'm not going to do heavy quilting though, because it's a fleece back. I'm going to do any quilting shows really good on fleece, and it's also getting, most people don't use batting with fleece, but I'm actually using batting to give it the more comforter, quilt, blanket all in one feel. It feels like a blanket because of the fleece, but it's going to be thick like a comforter, and it's going to be quilted and pieced because it's a quilt. So normally this one probably about $250 for this, but this is getting just a little bit knocked off because the person is helping do some flooring in our dining room, so we're gonna take like $50 off. So yeah, that's about how much a twin size would go with all this. I went for the expensive, well, not more expensive, or the $1 to $2 more than I would normally pay for tutorial fabric. Like my tutorial fabric isn't as much as the fabric for customers. Customer fabric is more expensive. I get it at Hobby Lobby and Joann's. So yeah, and it's thicker. This cotton is pretty thick cotton. It almost feels like duck, but it's not. It's just thick. It's like, feels like what is that goes on chairs? Upholstery fabric almost, which is what duck would be. So yes, definitely worth it. And it's for the guy that's doing it's for his grandson. They watch my videos too. So hello. I don't know if they're watching this one, but they'll see it because they'll know. They'll want to see how their grandson's quilt was going to be made. Alright, so that's it, guys. I'm glad you were here to hang out with me, and this is, I guess it would just be the road to Paw Patrol, because technically it has no name, and that's its now name. The road to Paw Patrol, because of all the white it's leading somewhere. So, see how I do that? Alright, everyone. What about the Christmas quilt? That's still there. It's just waiting to be quilted. It's kind of big, and I have a little bit extra time till the day before Christmas that it needs to be done, but this one was an even faster, needed to be done like within this week project. So you guys probably won't see me for a few days when I do quilt that one, because it's freezing outside and I will be out in the garage because I am going to be frame quilting. There's no way I'm going to be able to sit down and quilt it, not on this table at least, and I don't want to bring in another table to quilt it, you know what I mean? So this table has been vibrating a lot. When I go fast, it just, so that's a lot of work to sit in because it's king. So I watched Tiffany Clip. I don't know what you're saying. So alright, guys, well, thank you for joining. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe right there, that button. It's red. You hit it, that bell will pop up, get the notification that I'm on, and anything else. Don't forget to like my videos and also share them. Share away to all your quilty friends. That's it, guys. Have a good night. Get some sleep.